my sister kind of disappeared quickly tonight. What happened there? Did you offend her again?
No, I didn't talk to your sister. Maybe that's how I offended her.
Oh, maybe so. Because I noticed she kind of disappeared tonight, but who knows?
Yes. I'm sorry. I apologize to her right now.
Well, she probably heard that you weren't in the mood didn't have any energy to please the women tonight. So
she added me on as a friend on MySpace.
Oh, did you?
She did, yes. It's
touching.
Getting old, man. There was a girl that I really crazy about, and we just had like a 2-week fling because she was getting married. But she was the most. I was such a dog, man. She was the most gorgeous girl you've ever seen. The most gorgeous body, the beautiful face.
Is this recent? This was fairly
smelled
recent?
Smelled like heaven. 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. And was this the glitter breakup?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I found her on MySpace. And I can't masturbate to her image anymore because she's changed. She's changed, man.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like I can be completely honest with you.
Well, of course. Well, yeah, it's not just me. We're still on the air. Well, we're still not on the air now, but we're on the archives.
Yeah, nobody's listening to this.
Nobody. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. I mean,
can't masturbate to her image anymore. Some people have real tragedy after relationships. They can't get over someone. Jamey can't masturbate to her image anymore.
There's a girl that I dated for a couple of years that I think was the love of my life, and I think about her every day. I haven't gotten over her, and that was back in 2001 when we broke off. It was more tragic than 9/11 for me. that was my 9/11.
That was your 9/11.
That's so terrible. That's so terrible. You realize we've gone from my inability to masturbate to where were you 9/11? This is exceptional talk.
Yes, that's the brilliance of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, it just we can handle so many different topics,
And I've found a hard time to masturbate since 9/11. It's been difficult.
It's not quite the same anymore.
No. I think all of our libidos changed that day.
That's true. Kind of lost something, didn't it?
Yeah.
So,
most people lost their innocence. I lost my deviancy.
I don't think I've ever had that problem.
You can still masturbate to your old girlfriends?
Oh yeah, definitely. It gives me kind of a strange enjoyment,
I try to, and there are moments in my life where I know that a relationship isn't going to work out, so I stare at them for a long period of time so I can snap that photo in my head that I can ingrain in my brain so I can call up that image at any time.
God, I almost want to do a show on Jamey's relationships. I think that could be fascinating.
Yeah,
the Jamey relationship hour.
Fascinating right from the start. Like, my first real relationship was 2 years. I've never had a short relationship, really. I mean, a serious relationship. It's always been from 2 to 6 years.
Yeah.
First relationship, she was older than I was. I was a sophomore. She was a senior. Let me tell you, this is an R-rated show. She smelled awful.
Yeah, I've learned long ago to go ahead and mark these shows mature, so...
And that was my first experience with the JJ. And I was like... And actually, one time I said, "My God, did your vagina swallow a corpse?"
And that was your first experience with it. That could cause problems,
And then I went to an performing arts school in high school, and I made my way through the dance department. That was a great. To be young and cocksure like I was, and then working at the theater, I had sex with all my underage employees, which is amazing because I was in a position of authority. They weren't underage.
Oh yes, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who did that.
I wouldn't sleep with anyone underage, but I would actually walk up to them.
Well, that's good.
When they were vacuuming the office, and I would grab their boobs.
Oh my God!
I was terrible. And I think back at that time, and I was a thin, good-looking guy, and there was another manager there that was like 400 pounds, and he really had a high libido, and he would always like flirt and stuff. He got so many sexual harassment claims against him, and he said, "Why do I always get these and you never do?" And I was like, "Well, because women want me to do that to them."
Yeah, you were real helpful to them there.
Oh, and I remember when I moved out of my parents' house for the first time and got my apartment, I had like 3 girls in there in 1 week, and I was like, this is freedom. And now I talk to myself in my living room because there's nobody here. I make echo sounds
That's why I want a camera in there. I want to see this, I'm telling you, this could be a captivating reality show.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All I do is sit here and smoke. That's all I do.
Sit there and smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And call into my show.
That's all I do. That's my life now, dude. What a sad life. God.
We like to go out on an uplifting note here.
Yeah. I hope I'm able to get to sleep tonight forever.
Your air conditioner is going to get fixed tomorrow. There's hope.
Maybe it'll get fixed tomorrow.
Well, what do you mean maybe it'll get fixed? They're coming over, aren't they?
Yeah, last time it didn't get fixed the day after. Last time they just piddled around. I was like, I gotta live here another day. I'm like Marlon Brando in a sauna over here.
Marlon Brando in a sauna. That's a great image. Well, God, I hope it gets fixed, man. You need one less problem right now.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Man.
If I could help you, I would, but
I appreciate it.
What can I do?
You've shared nothing about your girlfriends. You've shared nothing.
What do you mean I've shared nothing?
I've shared everything. You've shared nothing.
Well, you volunteered it.
Volunteering.
What do you want to know? For Christ's sake, it's getting to be 12:30 now.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of girls that in high school. I had a lot of girls. I was that classic guy that only seemed to attract girls that were extremely unattractive. Like all the unattractive girls wanted to have their way, and I just couldn't go there. Couldn't do that.
Well, at least you drew a line there. That was good.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
I did. Yeah, I did a few things I was ashamed of. I never mistreated a girl, though, other than just grabbing their boobs out of the blue.
Yeah, just grabbing their boobs out of the blue. That's good. Yeah.
Being in the parking lot of the theater. These girls, man. I was such a dog. In the parking lot of the theater, it's like 30 degrees outside. It was a cold night in Florida. That was the one that we had. And I was like, hey, take your pants off. She wasn't even in my car. She was standing outside of my car. And she was like, right here? And I said, yeah. And she did. I was like, my
and you
God.
call me shameless. I tell you what.
I had when it came to the vajayjay, I could play Jedi vajayjay tricks on women.
Jesus Christ. Now I see why Garney hangs up. He knows that we're about to get into the relationship discussions, and there's another one we don't know much about. That's right.
Yeah, I think there's probably some skeletons in that closet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He opens up the closet. There's bats and shit flying out.
Yes.
Oh man, I had a girlfriend. That first girlfriend, whose vajayjay smelled like a corpse.
Yeah, if you're tuning in on the archive, this is Jason's Oscar radio show, or otherwise known as Jamey's Relationship Hour.
She actually had oral atrocities with an ex-boyfriend of hers in a church parking lot.
Oral atrocities? What the hell's an oral atrocity?
Oral sex with an ex-boyfriend of hers in a church parking lot while we were dating. So you could say in a way she was baptized that night. She went to I found out about it. We try to work through it. High schoolers trying to work through something. Anyway, I forgave her, and then she did it again, and I was like, well, that's enough. I mean, I'm not going to be used like this. So she came over afterwards. After we had that conversation. Yeah, I've always been able to put my foot down. She came over afterwards, and we did the typical, we switched class rings back.
Switched them back.
People that dated always wore each other's class rings. It was corny.
Oh, yes.
And she was sobbing. She was sobbing, and I said, really, yeah, it's for the best. And she left. She went straight from my house to her ex-boyfriend's house that she had the oral provocation with. And he wasn't home, but his brother was. And now and now she's married to that brother, and they have 2 kids, and they live in Alaska.
And they live in Alaska.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And my former girlfriend, the most recent one, she moved to Alaska too.
So you're losing women to Alaska.
Yeah. But they're cold bitches, so that's where they belong.
You know what I find intriguing about that is they get the farthest fuck away they can from you. I mean, can you get any further away from Florida than Alaska?
That's beautiful. Oh, I hadn't considered that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
So no, I can't even be tempted to disobey the restraining order too far away.
Yeah, by the time you got halfway there, you forget why you were heading that way.
That's good stuff.
Jesus,
that's great
man.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Oh,
right.
God.
I've taken too much of your time.
Yes, you are, I tell you. See, if we could have met up last week, the things we could have talked about, you know? You could have found out all this extra stuff about me, you know?
Right. I'm sure you would have been very forthcoming.